The old guard versus the new guard. That's the real tension in retail media right now. Traditional shopper marketing has decades of experience, while retail media is still figuring itself out. But when those two worlds collide, magic can happen. In today's episode, I asked 3 brand side leaders about their best conversations with their shopper marketing teams. You'll hear how one emerging brand uses what if scenario planning to get ahead of supply chain challenges, why treating shopper marketing and retail media like complementary menus creates better collaboration, and finally, how building a unified dashboard finally got everyone speaking the same customer-first language. If you've ever felt like you're working in silos while your competitors are running integrated campaigns, these leaders have cracked the code on making shopper marketing and retail media work as one powerful engine. Let's dive in. Good morning and welcome to the Retail Media Breakfast Club. I'm your host, Kiri Masters, and every weekday at 6 a.m. Eastern, I bring you candid and real discussions in the world of retail media and marketplaces in just 10 minutes. So bring your own cup of coffee and we'll get smarter about retail media together. Now let's hear from Justin Bomberowitz, Director of E-commerce at Wild Brands.
It's very simple. It's asking the what if question. It's what if we do win 2,000 more doors at Walmart on this SKU? Or what if this innovation comes in 6 months early? Or what if this influencer partnership that we're launching for St. Patrick's Day hits 5 million impressions and brings in a bunch of new shoppers to Target or Walmart or Shopify? Kind of scenario planning for the things as an emerging brand and one that kind of gets traction. I think it's a really good thought exercise. It prepares you for decisions that you might have to make for allocating budget where you might have to. And so it makes the team think on their toes proactively instead of just being like, this may or may not work, because we live in a world of viral posts and products going out the door really fast. And then suddenly your supply chain is done for 3 to 6 to 9 weeks, depending on how you're set up. So I really like scenario planning for all the fun things.
Now let's hear from Nem Lazik, e-commerce channel manager at Zevia.
The best conversations are ones where they give you some leadway. But it's great just to get everyone on board and say, hey, this is the menu of options that we have available with this retailer or with this activation. So they come in with their menu, whether it's displays or promos or social push, shelf talkers, and then they kind of come to us and say, hey, how can we amplify this with retail media? How can we amplify this with digital? So that way we're both kind of sitting at the table, both of our menus open, and say, all right, I like this to get going for the appetizer. This is for the main course. You can't have everything, right? Because there's a pesky budget issues. But once you kind of have both of those menus open and you're able to see how you can start to track that path to purchase, I think it makes it a lot more easier to just kind of look through and really get a cohesive campaign together.
Acosta Group's retailer intimacy is legendary. Merchants answer their calls. You just can't find that access at the same scale with any other partner out there. That expertise with both retailers and shoppers fuels its connected commerce team, which offers digital shelf, retail media, and data analytics all under one roof. Tap into 100 years of retailer relationships and award-winning digital commerce capabilities. Learn more at acosta.group and tell them Retail Media Breakfast Club sent you. That's ACOSTA.group. Now let's hear from Simon Swan, Director of Digital Marketing and Media at Caro Healthcare.
We know media measurement is messy, and we know different teams will have different measurement or KPIs, especially in FMCG, where conversion most likely happens in-store or on retailer sites, and in FMCG, where the majority of conversions also happen in bricks and mortar retailers. So what we do is with a step back, especially with different teams, and in this case our shopper team, is that internal education. So we spend time bringing our internal teams through upskilling, sharing case studies from other companies, and we run an internal digital and retail media academy where we're driving that insight, that buy-in in plain language, what it means for our businesses, what it means for our brands. For example, the role of media and the jobs to be done is very different as a metric of success to allocating retail media spend at the point of purchase versus perhaps other tactics. We then built out an internal dashboard of top-level metrics that brought together the shopper, the digital, the media teams, the search teams, built from that path to purchase. So on a month-by-month basis, we bring together all the different teams, aligning them with top-level metrics, and have more about a conversation about what's happening in market in month at that period. So we can understand where spend should be moved across, where spend should be optimized, or even where spend could be challenged. And that brings together the shopper team for them to have an insight and an explanation as to the role it should be doing. But I guess the key thing for us is that we try and build this from three key pillars. We try and put the customer first, point one. So the team shifts its focus from my budget to our shopper. This provides a step back to the role of budgets and the jobs to be done. Number two, we speak the business, not the channel. So helping us to build a conversation with our C-suite executives, and the digital language is turned into business language in terms of what's actually happening and what's working. And then finally, try to leave the ego at the door. Too often, sometimes internal politics blocks progress. Budget holders see integration as a loss of control. In reality, what we're trying to do is bring together and collaborate across different teams. And that really has helped build conversations as well as confidence, and that support for all teams to have a say in the role that's working.
Now let's hear from Ben Galvin, Senior Director of Omnichannel, Retail Sales and E-commerce at Monster Energy.
Yeah, collaboration is key. I have been so fortunate in my career to have wonderful shopper marketing teams from my time at Anheuser-Busch and Constellation. Even here at Monster, we have such a wonderful team of shopper marketers. One of the big things is collaboration. The collaboration component of not just uniformly working together, but aligning on overarching business objectives, sharing those insights across in-store as well as online campaigns, and making sure we can tie them together from a consumer metric standpoint. We utilize this through regular syncs, obviously one-on-ones on the side, but ensuring that messaging is consistent, not just from how the consumer is seeing our brand messagings from the marketers and brands themselves, but ultimately that seamless transition into that retail messaging as well. We want to make sure that they see an ad on Instagram, or they see a billboard on a highway, or they see a TV ad, or they see an ad on a display in Walmart. It is seamless across all physical and digital touch points. That type of seamless messaging and collaboration back with our shopper marketing teams is so critical. The other thing that we can really get out of this collaboration is the insight and forward thought leadership that they bring. We're really fortunate here at Monster to have really good thought leaders within our shopper marketing team. And what they can ultimately bring is another lens to the commercial side that maybe a sales leader had not thought of, or bringing in some specific insights, as we talked about earlier, around data, whether it's from a panel source or a retail media network, that we can overlay to a sales performance metric from like a Nielsen and just make it, again, a more robust story. And that all comes with collaboration, seamlessly integrating and making sure that structurally everyone is on the same page, but frankly, rowing in the right direction, because it depends on the time of year, it depends on the budget, depends on the retailer. People can get out of whack. And it's so important to kind of, again, make sure everyone is touching base on a regular basis so we can make sure that if the direction needs to change, we all change together.
Well, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Retail Media Breakfast Club. We meet here every day at 6 a.m. Eastern. So be sure to subscribe and get your daily dose of insights, trends, and hot takes in the world of retail media and marketplaces.